day, fellow YouTubians! This is funnyeehn back with another episode of Gamer Report, your weekly lowdown of how to get through finals.
Excuse me, but actually you're the last person who should be talking about finals.
Well, hey there, inner student. How you doing?
Don't hate me. We should be studying right now. But no, you gotta be doing Yetu.
But it's the end of the week, which means, you know, it's gaming news.
These books aren't gonna study themselves.
Sorry about that, guys. Sometimes my inner student can get a little invasive in my private life.
I heard that.
Anyway, assuming you've read user comments, whether on a blog or here on YouTube, you have probably seen somebody reply to a dumb comment and say how they've lost their faith in humanity. Well, here's a story that may make you revisit that idea.
You know, if you read these books, you'd be less likely to write dumb and ignorant comments.
Don't worry, I'll get to it. Jeez. He's like a mom. So the story that I'm referring to is about Brian Jack Frazier, a 20-year-old guy who hit his 2-week-old son in the face when the baby's crying interrupted his gaming session at 5 a.m. in the morning. And you know what? The kid died.
What?
Yeah, this took place last week in High Point, North Carolina. You know, after this whole thing, I think they should rename that town Low Point, North Carolina. Alright, that was pretty terrible, but then again, so is the story. So after hitting his son, the father went to bed and didn't check on his child for another 9 hours, so that would make it about 2 p.m. And it was then that he discovered the baby as unresponsive. And it was about an hour later that the medical staff pronounced the baby as deceased.
Maybe if he would have read some books, this wouldn't have happened.
So now, Brian Frazier is in jail and is being charged with first-degree murder. And the baby's mother has been charged as an accessory after the fact. And the death sentence isn't off the table. I hate to say it, but when I was imagining what this couple looked like, it was almost identical to their real picture. Rest in peace, little guy. Now onto a much more positive note, I got some news on the Xbox 720.
According to my research, the Xbox 720 should be released sometime in fall of 2013.
Okay, so I had a real hard time understanding what you just said, but assuming you said 2013, you're actually right, because according to Bloomberg, the Xbox 720 should be hitting shelves just in time for Christmas next year. Here's some trivia. When did Microsoft release the Xbox 360?
Ooh, I know. It was 2004.
Oof, sorry pal, but you're wrong. Actually, it was released in November of 2005.
What? Your data must be wrong.
Nope, actually the information's right there if you want to look at it.
How is this possible?
Cool down, man. We all get things, you know, wrong every once in a while.
I don't want to hear it.
Alright, so it is being said that one of the reasons why the new Xbox is coming so soon is partially because of the failure of Windows 8. But, of course, Microsoft still believes that their new OS will be loved. Eventually. And concerning the new console, it's supposed to start at $300, be smaller than the Xbox 360, have a Blu-ray player, have 8 GB of RAM, quad-core processor, and much more. I don't know about you, but I'm really excited. Now, the only question left is, when is the PS4 coming out?
Another question I don't know. Wow, this is preposterous.
Speaking of new consoles, there's some funky stuff going on with the Wii U in Europe.
Like 1970s, like disco funky?
No, it's more like I got like ants in my pants funky. So anyway, what's going on is that Nintendo of Europe is blocking all PEGI 18 content in that region between 3 a.m. to 11 p.m.
Wait, what?
In other words, as Nintendo aims to be more family friendly, they've limited mature content to the hours of 11 p.m. to 3 a.m. So hopefully you're a night owl and you're not working. Or better yet, you just don't like mature content. I think what's kind of funny about this whole situation is that as they try to be more all ages appropriate, they kind of throw a big FU to all the people that want mature content, which really isn't a family-friendly thing to say.
Well, it depends on what F word you're using.
Well, I'm obviously using the bad one. He doesn't get out much. In other news, for all of you gamers that plan on downloading the Hidden Secrets expansion for Assassin's Creed 3, do not load any of your saved games while the DLC is downloading, because
by enabling the hard disk memory, you are creating a chain reaction That,
Or in English, there's been a bug that for a very small amount of people has wiped all of their in-game progress.
oh, that sucks.
Of course, Ubisoft has said that they are working on the problem. I also forgot to ask those of you that have played or are playing Assassin's Creed 3, what do you think of it? Alright, here's a cool piece of news. Have any of you played the game Journey? You know, the PlayStation exclusive game where you're floating around in a desert. Okay, that's overly simplified, but since I haven't played it, you know, that's kind of what it looks like.
Maybe you'd know if you actually read.
You know, why don't you just go read a book or something? Or better yet, if you stay, then I can help you study your brains in front of your face. Because I can arrange that.
Actually, that would mean that you're hurting yourself.
Yeah, I guess so. Dang it. Anyway, Journey is the first video game soundtrack to be nominated in the Grammys. Mind you, last year, Christopher Tin won a Grammy for the song Baba Yetu, which was in Civilization 4. So this isn't the first year that video game music has been in the Grammys. Just the first year where there has been a video game soundtrack.
Did you know that Baba Yetu is actually Swahili for the Lord's Prayer?
No, but I do now. Thanks. Alright everyone, well that wraps up this week's episode of Gamer Report. If you enjoyed this episode, or if you think that my inner student should get out a little more, then please hit that like button, comment, and subscribe for more content. And until next time, this is funnyeehn, signing out.
Alright, well, I'm gonna go do some gaming now, so good luck studying.
What? But we're supposed to study together.
I studied while you were on YouTube. So now it's time to kill some zombies. Later, sucker.
No!